All right. All right. So this is policy and compliance. I'm going to try to touch on some of the different areas, especially if you're a 5310 subrecipient, areas that you might want to be aware of, or if you're not familiar with, to give you some more details. And if you have any questions, like she said, put it in the chat or wait till the end. Next slide, please. So a few questions. Lauren, did you set these up as polling questions?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. So our first polling question is, are you a Section 5310 subrecipient? And then the second one is, have you completed the Title VI plan or recertification of your plan? And lastly, have you been required to complete a compliance meeting? I'll give you guys a second to get those filled out. And then we'll see the results here. All right, Lauren, will the results pop up?
They will as soon as I end the poll. I'm just
Okay,
waiting to
perfect.
make sure that we
Everybody's
get
got a
enough
chance to.
people. Yeah.
Excellent. So it looks like most people are Section 5310 recipients. And that, yes, some people have had both the plan and recertification. Some that have not had to do that. And then most have not been through a compliance training. Excellent. That just gives us a little bit of information there. All right, we'll go to the next slide. So just to kind of give you an overview, we're going to talk about 5310 reimbursements, the annual milestone report, and then some of the other compliance components, and then the Title VI plan. Next slide. So Section 5310 reimbursements for anybody that has received items like preventative maintenance, mobility management, and there's a couple other sections within the 5310 grant where you need to do quarterly reimbursements. Next slide. So again, they're submitted quarterly. There's specific forms that need to be completed. So if you are required to do these reimbursements, you will receive a specific form from MAG or the City of Phoenix. And it's a Excel spreadsheet with some tabs, and then it goes through, it gives you your grant number and a variety of other things, and then you fill them out, and then you turn that in with your invoices or any other supporting documentation. Now, these forms need to be done quarterly. If you are a 5310 recipient and you are looking to apply again, this is one of the areas that we do get judged on in terms of our application and how we rank when we do the applications every year. Next slide. So this is the form I was talking about. It's your lead sheet. And then you have to put in all of the expenses, and it's very specific. And with all of those expenses, you have to have a proof of payment, as well as a copy of the invoice or the receipt that states what the work was that was completed. You list every one of those out in your on your Excel spreadsheet, and all of that is part of the documentation that goes in for your reimbursement. Next slide. And then the Excel spreadsheet that you receive, this is the idea of it. It's has the invoice on there, and then you have to put in the invoice number. So is it the first one for the first quarter, the second quarter, third quarter, or fourth quarter? And then you put on your invoice date. So this one, the sample that I have up here, it was for June 19th, 2024. It's got our invoice number, and then we have just a couple samples of what we were requesting the money for. So it shows you how much you received, how much you've spent, what you're requesting, and then how much is left. that you need to then reimburse for before the end of the cycle. Next slide. Supporting documentation, again, this is just another sample of part of that form that you have to fill out. This would be for Q1 because it's our first request. And then you fill out all of the highlighted areas. You do have to sign it, and then you scan it back in and send it back. I keep repeating copies of invoices because that's a really important piece. You can't just put that, oh, I had my tires rotated and an oil change. You have to show that that's the work that was done with that receipt. So everything has to line up, dates, invoices, receipts, and what the work was, because you're also putting in your spreadsheet what the work that was done. So next slide. So this is the first sheet on the spreadsheet. This is, so like I said, there's many tabs. And this gives you who's filling it out. So I work directly with our fleet and facilities manager to complete these documents. So together we work on that, and then we send them in because he keeps all of the receipts and stuff. And then as well as, oh, this is the annual milestone report as well. So on the annual milestone report, for all of those individuals that have received anything within the 5310 grant process, you have to do an annual milestone report. This is due every October. So next slide. So October 15th, so it's not a surprise for when it's due. So this has a variety of tabs as well. You're required to complete the grant summary, the Title VI annual report. There's a section for performance measures. If you have vehicles or preventive maintenance, then the vehicle inventory is required. Make sure that your annual inspections and supporting documentation is completed, and much more. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about some of these sections. So next slide. Oh, my apologies. Can we go back? So with your performance measures, they're going to want to know a variety of different aspects of it. So you want to make sure that you're very clear, concise, to the point on the narratives that they give you. And then the vehicle inventory, just making sure that everything is correct on there, that your mileage is up to date. And this is for making sure that all of the 5310 vehicles are performing as they should. As I stated, annual inspections and supporting documentation, that's super critical. I mean, we've learned from experience a few years ago where some of the annual inspections weren't done. And again, this is a requirement to be a 5310 recipient, especially if you have those vehicles. And those annual inspections, what we've done now is, instead of waiting until August, September to get all of those annual inspections done, we have them spread out through the year, and we have a software system that we use that will send us reminders to get those done as throughout the year, so that at the last minute it's really hard, because the workshops may not be able to get them in to get those annual inspections done. And then all of the supporting documentation that goes with it. This is a pretty large report that is completed. So there is a lot of supporting documentation. Again, you're looking at, it could be invoices, it could be different aspects of the vehicles in terms of if they were in an accident and those kinds of things. So the annual milestone report, if anybody needs any help with those or has any questions as they're going through it, especially if they're new, feel free to reach out to us. We've done them several times now, and I think that every time we're getting better and better at them. And then your Title VI annual report is also due on there. And that report is a one-page report that accompanies all of the other documentation. All right, now we can go on to the next slide. So 5310 compliance. So last year, in around August, we were one of the lucky organizations to get chosen to do a compliance meeting. We were not sure what to expect. And so I'm glad that we had the opportunity to go through it. And I just wanted to share some of the information and some of the things that we did so that if you get chosen to do a compliance meeting, it'll make it easier for you and you'll be prepared for it. So next slide. Couple things that we learned, I don't want to say the hard way, but that we learned that we weren't doing correctly. Drug-free workplace. You, as a 5310 recipient, you must have a program that annually discusses, explains, informs your employees about a drug-free workplace and expectations. So we are doing an online training for our employees on an annual basis now. When somebody's hired at TCH, you get the information on drug-free workplace. They go over it. We're also a federal contractor, so it impacts that. It's in our handbook. And then beyond that, if they're in an accident or injured at work, they have to be drug tested, or that we could do random drug testing. And in the past, that's all we ever did. We didn't go any further. But as a 5310 recipient, we learned that you have to have an ongoing drug-free workplace program. So that was I mean, it was a great learning experience for us. And so going forward, we're able to come up with a program that we can easily administer for all employees to attend on an annual basis. And then the Title VI forms have to be easily found on your website and visible. So in the picture there, you can see that under our transportation section on our website, we have listed out the required forms for this program. And we had run into a couple issues where they were on the website, but the reviewer couldn't find them easily. So they can't be buried in there. They want to be able to go, oh, okay, here's where those documents are, and easily click on them. They have to be in English and in Spanish. So we had somebody on site that could translate in terms of creating those Spanish forms. But the City of Phoenix staff can also assist with that. They have some sample forms that are in Spanish as well. And then they will come in and do a random review on site of the 5310 vehicles. So they gave us a list of the vehicles that they wanted to review at the compliance review. So this was an on-site meeting. We did a self-assessment to begin with of what we thought we were doing and what we weren't doing. And then they come on site and they sit down with you and they go through all of the different documents, aspects of the program, and then they want to physically get in and out of your vehicles and to make sure that everything in your vehicles is what is supposed to be there. So they did give us a list of the vehicles that they wanted, so we were able to pull them out of the fleet so they weren't being used that day, and have them ready to go for them to review. Next slide, please. All right. This plan is a 3-year plan, and it has to be updated then every 3 years. So what you see in front of you as the sample is just the our cover page of the current one. So in November 2024, we had to update our plan to go to 2027. This plan has a lot of requirements. It's great because there is a template that we were able to take from. And again, we're willing to share any of these forms with any organizations to help you come into compliance with all of these aspects of this program. Next slide. So when you have to review, so we went through this, and again, we learned, I don't want to say lessons, but we absolutely did learn some lessons. Start early, that's always a given with some of these forms. So reach out to the City of Phoenix. I reached out to them and said, hey, I know it's coming up. Can you send me, some of the areas that we need to update? Because it's not necessarily the whole document having to be updated, but there are usually sections. So they were able to kind of review it a little bit, give me some tidbits. one of the things I didn't realize is they have to have it back at least 30 days prior to when we need to have it implemented, because it's got to go through their process as well. But you also have to have board approval. So we kind of ran into a little bit of an issue. We were able to get it in on time with no problem, but our board meeting was kind of after the fact with the in terms of the approval. So your board has to approve your plan, and then you have to send it to the FTA to have them review it. And then they're either going to say, yes, it's approved, or no, it's not. So as an organization, realizing that we were having our board meeting after our due date, we did a vote via email. So we sent it out to our board and we asked them to review it and then approve it. So that was one way that we were able to get that done. There are a variety of sections in there. You can adopt certain sections with the FTA. I'm trying to remember the one off the top of my head, but it's not coming to me. So it's English language. And then there's another section that you can adopt from the city of Phoenix, which is very helpful. You don't have to create your own policies, procedures, because they're already in place. And since you fall under that program, you just adopt those into your Title VI plan. Once you get it written, again, when you have to update it, it's not as difficult because you already have the plan in place. It's just certain things. And the FTA will sometimes make changes and say, well, we want this updated, or now you have to include this. And so that's why you start early. You get feedback from the city of Phoenix so that you know which direction and what needs to be updated. Besides just the general dates, you need to review to make sure that your like ours is the person that's in charge of any type of grievance is correct on there. So ours is our HR department. So making sure that it's the same person in that role, same phone number, all of those kinds of things. So you kind of have to go page by page just to make sure everything's there. And then we had to do a little bit of a updating or increase information on a couple of sections of ours that had to do with our programming. And, they were looking for something a little bit more robust. And so we were able to go through and update that and get that approved as well. Next slide. So I went through a lot of little pieces. This is the first time we've done this training. And what I really want to know is what kinds of questions do you guys have? Because I don't know exactly what everybody struggles with. Those are some of the things that we struggled with and that we learned throughout these processes. When they come out to do your compliance, you have to have documents that are, and the name of them are eluding me at the moment, in your vans posted. And so one of the things that we ended up doing with that was because our supported individuals tend to take those out, that we have to go into our vehicles a little bit more regularly and look for updating them and then putting them back in, because they'll pull them out and you have to have them posted. So I'm just quickly looking up exactly what the name of that is so that I give you the correct information. Let's see, section 5310. And let's see. Like, Lauren, can you think of what those forms are? They're the grievance forms. When you get on, like, you have to show that you have in place. Maybe somebody else can think of the name. I cannot think of the name of that form right now. It's in English and in Spanish, and you have to have
The
both of.
complaint form?
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, so easy to remember, right? Yeah, the complaint forms, and they have to be in English and in Spanish, and you have to have those posted in your vehicles. Now, at one point, we had them kind of not fully tucked, but they were tucked in the little pocket on the back seat. That's not good enough. You have to have them posted. So we zip tie them somewhere that's easily visible. And again, our supported individuals, they pull those out. So we have to go back in and put them back in. So it's whatever works for the individuals you're supporting. And we only transport individuals within our program. So we're not transporting individuals from the community at large because we are a disability provider. So some of the things that we do are a little bit different than some of what other programs may be doing. Let's see. So they went in every vehicle, they checked, they have somebody that comes out and they look at the wear and tear on your vehicles to make sure that they're in good working order, that they're safe. So I think we had a panel of 3 people come out for the compliance. It was actually a very, very good experience. And I just am excited that we're going to be ready the next time. I also put together, before they came out, the initial email they sent, where you have to go through and you have to kind of rate yourself. I took that information, I took our Title VI plan, and all of those things, and I put them into a binder so that when they came in, I had all of that information in front of me. I did not print out our annual report and all the documentation that goes with it because it's just way too thick. But I had the main pieces in place so that I could then go back and be ready. The other thing that we, in our self-assessment, that we recognized was that our mileage log that we keep. So when individuals get in our vehicles and they put how many people are in the van, where the mileage starts, and then when they get back where it ends. That was in one book. And then we had another book that had all of like the vehicle inspections and stuff. And it was like people weren't picking up both books. They weren't doing both sheets. So we have, because of this compliance review, we've created a brand new mileage log inspection sheet, and everything is on one place. So when you get in the vehicle, you put all that information, and then it's a very detailed inspection, because before our inspection sheet was just kind of like walk around the vehicle. Does everything look okay? This one is like, are the seatbelts good? Is there any gauges on? All of those kinds of things. And so all of our employees now, as part of their mileage, they also are doing the inspection. So that brought us into compliance with that as well. Happy to share what we did there. If it's something that you think you need for your organization, since we've already created it, it's not worth, trying to recreate it. You can just edit it and make it yours for your organization. So I know that was a lot of information, and I apologize for talking kind of fast. I was being a little off with realizing that my calendar was wrong. So what questions can I answer, or what are some areas that you want more information, or that we could touch on to actually help you with your Title VI, your reimbursements? I mean, it could be the grant as well as the compliance meeting. Any questions from anybody?
So we have to get the vehicles inspected annually. Am I correct? Like, or are they going to come out to us, or do we have to bring them somewhere?
We take ours to Copper State or Elite, and we have those annual inspections done there. I don't think
Your
they,
vendor,
yeah, with our vendor, correct.
right?
And it's a specific form.
And it's a form that don't need to fill out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and Scott, let me give you my email so that I can email you kind of a sample of what they look like.
Right.
Because it's not just like when you go get your vehicle maintained, And they'll do oh yeah, your fluids look okay, that kind. This is a much more extensive, and it's a specific one form that they have to do, and then they have to sign off on. So,
Would that include like the wheelchair lifts and such?
yep,
Okay,
yep.
'cause our current vendor isn't really. I don't know. I don't know if they could do something like that.
Okay, yeah, and I'm really happy to talk to you offline, and we can go into more detail if you want to come over and check out kind of like what we do with our
Right.
vehicles. I'm happy to share. You know, our thing is we want everybody to succeed, and to be as successful as possible and make it as easy as possible. We've
There
been doing.
was a place I believe that we used to take them in the past. Now, this is years ago, and
Mhm.
and it was like it was a state run, like a DMV kind of run inspection.
Yeah, did you have ADOT vehicles?
I maybe this whole getting a grant thing is all brand new to me, so it might have been
Okay.
an ADOT vehicle, correct?
So,
We haven't gotten the 5310 approval as of yet. We're still waiting to see if we got those. We put in for it recently.
okay, yeah. So, many years ago, ADOT actually ran this program. And so they did things a little bit differently. And then when the city of Phoenix, and MAG took over, the process changed a little bit.
Right.
Scott, but I would love to connect with you. So if you want to put your email in the chat, I'll take
Yeah,
it down
I'll do that.
and I will contact you, and we can have a longer, more in-depth discussion about just the fleet and everything and the grant itself.
Well, I hope we get approved. It was a lot of work. It was a lot.
Yes, it is.
Again, this is my first attempt. There was a lot of paperwork, a lot of hoops to dive through, but I think we
Yep.
did everything we were asked of us.
Yeah, and to be honest, the hoops and the paperwork, it's because it's a federal grant.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right. I'm putting that in there now. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions, areas that you guys would like more information about? Like I said, we've been doing this for a while, and we've learned by going through the processes. So, or if there's topics that you would like more information from.
Hi, Dawn. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, how are you?
Doing good. Long time no see.
I
I
know.
have a question, but I don't think you would be able to answer, so maybe it's a follow-up question with the City of Phoenix and MAG team, because you don't have any operating costs, do you? Any operating programs?
We don't have that. We just have the mobility management. We've gotten vehicles, and then the preventative maintenance.
Yeah, so I was wondering, you talked about the reimbursement process. So I guessed because you only have preventative maintenance, that's where you get your reimbursement from and mobility
That and the
management.
mobility management.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out because you talked a lot about the invoices, and we are gonna do operating, and we have a contractor that does our service, and um, they don't have like a line item for differentiating between our general public rights and our older adults and people with disability rights. They just invoice us for one whole thing. So I was just
Oh,
wondering that, but it might be a question that I have to ask people that are in the operating part of the grant, correct?
yeah, and so what you're saying is that they invoice you for the rides?
Yeah. So yeah, because the city of Chandler, we don't operate the service. We contract it out, and they operate the service for us. So we would get reimbursed for the operation that we paid them for that. But yeah, you were talking about how your invoices need to have specific descriptions of the services for preventative maintenance.
Yes.
But I was wondering how that works for operating services. So it might be something that I need to take offline with somebody else.
Well, and I'm wondering if it's similar to, you know, like the preventative maintenance and those kinds of things that, because they want to make sure obviously that what they're paying for is actual individuals with disabilities and seniors.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a way that on their invoice, or on, you know, that they can specify out at
Mm-hmm.
least somewhat, like on our mileage sheet, we have how many ambulatory, how many wheelchairs, you know, kind of thing. So if
Mm-hmm.
there's a way to specify it out.
All right. Yeah, I might have to ask them to do that. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. Any other questions or thoughts? Bessie, I see that I've got your email. Scott, I've got your email. I did put my email in the contact. If anybody wants it and wants to reach out directly to me, please do. Anything else? Again, if there's an area that, you know, I didn't hit or I talked too fast over, that you think we could improve on within the training, please let me know. If not, I appreciate your time. And again, I really, really apologize for the mix up on my calendar. I'm not sure why I got something that said it was tomorrow.
Hi, Don. It's Wendy. I just wanted to say thank you. Very good
Ah,
presentation.
oh,
We
good.
appreciate your time today too, and it's okay about the mix-up. It happens.
Well, and Wendy, if you hear of anything or, you know, see something, please let me know and I can add it in and,
Absolutely. We have some folks from Phoenix's compliance section I see online today too. So if you have any suggestions or feedback, let me know. Everyone just send me your comments and questions, you know, and you can copy Lauren as well, and we'll take in any information and share it with Dawn and or however
yes,
you'd like to do it.
absolutely. And yes, Megan, the recording is posted on the MAG 5310 page on the website. Excellent. Well, everybody enjoy the rest of your afternoon and hope to see you at another training.
Thanks, Dawn.
See you guys later.